Hey, it's Black Vader once more. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I'm just gonna go into the code with Neely Fuller. You can get it at producejustice.com. Um, yeah, that's it. What I'm gonna be talking about today is six major white supremacist racist strategies for confusion. I'm just gonna go right into it. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are six major white supremacist racist strategies for confusion. Some evidence shows that the white supremacist racists sometimes use these six major strategies to produce maximum sophisticated confusion among their victims, non-white people. The six major racist strategies, sometimes used by racist men and racist women, white supremacists collectively, are designed to promote greater and or more refined chaos, frustration, and extremely destructive confusion between and among the non-white people of the known universe. A compensatory definition is given about each possible strategy that could be used. Specific suggestions are made about what a non-white person can do to counteract and or to minimize the effects of these six major racist strategies for confusion. These six major racist strategies are: one, racial classification confusion; two, racial population dislocation confusion; three, racial population tailoring confusion; four, racial showcasing confusion; five, racial sexual confusion; and six, racial white sacrifice confusion. It could be that most of the white people in the known universe who believe in maintaining the system of white supremacy sometimes change their minds about doing so. It could be that most of the white people in the known universe who believe in maintaining the system of white supremacy sometimes change their mind about doing so. If not, there is evidence of a use of a mixture of six major strategies for refining the practice of white supremacy through maximum sophisticated confusion, refined maintenance of white supremacy. One, racial classification confusion. The non the white supremacist racists classify people by color/non-color based on the use of the word race. There's no reason to be a member of a race except to mistreat someone because of color or non-color. The only reason for being a member of a race is to practice racism, white supremacy. Race is racism. The only reason for practicing racism is to gain so-called benefits by mistreating people based on the so-called color classifications of those people. A person who functions as a member of a race is a racist. During the existence of white supremacy racism, however, only a white person can function as a race member, the white race/racist. The white supremacist racist man or racist woman collectively make sure that they use whatever so-called racial classifications that they can think of that will best help them to control the thought, speech, and action of the non-white people of the known universe. They do this to give greater strength and focus to the system of white supremacy. This is one of the basic ways that white supremacists establish, maintain, expand, and or refine racial confusion through illusion. Question: what can you, as an individual non-white person, do about racial classification confusion? Answer: as long as white supremacy exists, constantly use the term white people, non-white people, black, brown, red, tan, yellow, and white supremacist races as the three racial classifications for the people of the known universe. So for racial classification confusion, I always thought there was like only two races. There's white people and there's non-white people. But you can separate the white supremacists from the white people who mean well. So his answer says as long as white supremacy racism exists, consistently use the terms white people, non-white people, and white supremacists. In the known universe, under all circumstances, avoid using any other terms. When others use any so-called racist classifications other than white, non-white, and white supremacists, racist, ask for a detailed explanation that you can easily understand. Study all of the so-called racial classifications used by others. Ask questions about anything said that seems to be contradictory, confusing, and or non-explanatory. Beware of and or be alert for any so-called explanation that instead of clarity, focus, and logic only adds to the confusion. 2. Racial population dislocation confusion. The white supremacist, racist men, and racist women collectively often the white supremacist, racist men, and racist women collectively often selectively force large and small numbers of non-white people to move from one place to another, dislocate. They apparently have often judged it necessary to do this if they intend to guarantee that the system of white supremacy racism is maintained forever. Racist men and racist women usually practice racial population dislocation confusion against non-white people by causing, promoting, and or taking non-just advantage of food shortages, water shortages, shelter shortages, the spread of disease and germs, the distribution of poison chemicals, armed conflicts, gangs, tribes, cliques, etc., fire destruction, floods, earthquakes, legal decision, and or ownership disputes, or trickery. The methods that they use and intend to continue to use will be similar to those methods used to conduct racial population tailoring. See racial population tailoring confusion. During the existence of the system of white supremacy, the white people of the known universe, generally speaking, have the privilege of relocating either among or away from the non-white people. The non-white people of the known universe are dislocated whenever the white supremacist decides to cause them to be dislocated. The white supremacists go where they choose to go. Non-white people go where the white supremacists allow them to go. Question: what can you, as an individual non-white person, do about racial population dislocation confusion? Answer: be prepared to move completely and swiftly from one place to another. Be prepared to move with pre-planned efficiency. Know in advance where you will be moving to and what you will be doing after your arrival. Try to learn how to do many things that will likely be of substantial constructive value to yourself and or to others in most places where you may be forced into dislocation. Prepare a plan in regards to ways that you will obtain those things that are likely to be needed most. Do not expect racist men and racist women to stop causing, promoting, and taking harmful advantage of the racial population dislocation confusion of non-white people. Be willing to inform other non-white people that in the foreseeable future, the white supremacists have judged that in order to continue to maintain the system of white supremacy, it will be absolutely necessary to keep the substantial numbers of the non-white people of the known universe moving, dislocating from one place to another, spread out. Keep them moving, keep them unstable, keep them stressed, keep them confused. Remember that during a major emergency disaster where a white supremacist racist say that a non-white person should go may not be the best place. Dislocation is not the same as relocation. Dislocation means that you are forced to move and with great loss. Relocation means you move with no loss and with compensatory gain. Interesting. Number 3, racial population tailoring confusion. This means that the white supremacist racists may kill large numbers of non-white people either directly or indirectly in selected areas on a massive scale. They will kill them by drying out or poisoning the water supply plant, dumping poisonous waste, etc. They tailor the population for the purpose of maintaining better control over all the remaining non-white people. They have many ways of doing this. The white supremacists sometimes kill large numbers of non-white people on an ongoing, well-thought-out basis. They do not intend to kill all the non-white people of the known universe. They do not intend to kill all the non-white people of the known universe. They intend to tailor the number of non-white people by killing a calculated number in different places at different times according to whatever will best fit any long-term or short-term plans that racist men and racist women have in mind for better control and future domination and mistreatment of non-white people. Part of the white supremacist racist plan of killing selected populations of non-white people is to, from time to time, produce situations among non-white people that will guarantee that they will, out of anger, frustration, jealousy, want, and or confusion, kill each other. All of this racial population tailoring is designed to have an effect on guaranteeing that the non-white people of the known universe in their greatest numbers will not be any major constructive value to any people except racist man and racist woman. Question: what can you as an individual non-white person do about racial population tailoring confusion? Answer: do your best to get enough information about how you can best avoid every situation that will likely to involve you in killing people and or being killed by people, and always expect the unexpected. Seek to know and understand the different methods that racist men and racist women use to kill non-white people in order to tailor non-white people populations in various places in order to satisfy whatever plans they have made for the current or future benefit of the system of white supremacy. As long as white supremacy racism exists, always speak and act as if you know for sure that racist man and racist woman will not stop committing acts of racial population tailoring. Inform others about whatever you believe that the white supremacists are likely to do in their practice of racial population tailoring. Be willing to help others to avoid situations where non-just bodily harm is likely to occur. Where there are no better choices, use counter-racist, counter-violence to defend yourself and or others as best you can. 4. Racial showcasing confusion. This applies to people who are famous. If you're famous and you're black and you think you got it, you don't got it. White people got it. Oh, white supremacists got it. Okay, racial showcasing confusion. This applies to the white supremacist racists taking large number of non-white people and putting them out front. Many non-white people may be able to showcase the places where they reside. They may be able to showcase their knowledge and expertise. The white supremacist, racist man and racist woman sometimes allow some or many non-white people to have so-called titles of importance. They allow some or many non-white people to possess, use, or be associated with many comfortable and attractive material things: houses, garments, glittery stones or metals, exotic foods and drinks, expensive vehicles, etc. The white supremacists sometimes give some or many non-white people numerous awards, congratulations, celebrations, parades, and many words of praise. Many non-white people sometimes see many other non-white people receiving and enjoying many things that provide great comfort that is provided by the white supremacists. Such actions by the white supremacists usually cause many or most non-white people to become very confused. The white supremacists deliberately and skillfully cause this confusion in order to produce the illusion that the system of white supremacy racism no longer exists, if it ever did. The white supremacists sometimes carefully select and give great amounts of money and our publicity to large but carefully controlled numbers of non-white people. The white supremacists sometimes showcase the chosen. The white supremacists sometimes showcase the chosen, God's chosen people. That's y'all, non-white people. No, I'm just joking. Non-white person as being extremely wealthy, extremely comfortable, and are mostly falsely extremely powerful. The white supremacists showcase these selected non-white people as being totally successful and not being victimized by and are not being subject to the system of white supremacy racism. The purpose of this is so that any non-white person starts talking about racism in the future, they will be laughed at because it may appear that the white supremacists has been put out of because, well, I'll read it again. The purpose of this is that if any non-white person starts talking about racism in the future, they will be laughed at, and because they may appear that white supremacy has been put out of business. However, white supremacy is a world business. White supremacy is a world business. And like any other business, it works according to the logic of profits and losses, which means percentages. When one goes into business, one expects some loss. The white supremacists know that the cost of doing business of white supremacy can increase or decrease. Racial showcasing carefully selected non-white people is one of the major ways that white supremacists help themselves to maintain, expand, or refine the system of white supremacy. The white supremacists practice racial showcasing confusion against non-white people by sometimes placing great numbers of non-white people in so-called prominent positions for the purpose of producing the illusion that racism, white supremacy, if it continues to exist, certainly does not exist enough to complain about. This confusion by illusion strategy often proves to be very effective in causing many or most non-white people to believe that the people who are called racist, white supremacists have little or no power over what non-white people do not say, have, or do not have. Racial showcasing is a sophisticated way of confusing non-white people by giving the appearance that some non-white people are not subject to the system of white supremacy. Racial showcasing can bring much comfort to those who are being showcased. Non-white people who have not been accepted or chosen for showcasing are likely to experience great pain from not being included or feeling unworthy of being showcased. I guess so. You're gonna be hate. Any group of people is gonna be hating if you see someone doing better than you, and you're not doing well, regardless of status of where you're at. So with this racial showcasing, let's say the white supremacists gave me $1 billion and said, "Hey, we gave this black man $1 billion. Look at him. Look what he does. Racism is over now. Because we gave him that. We gave him that. We control everything. So racism is over because we gave him that. We told y'all it's over. So it's over." Who told black people racism was over, bro? I just want to know, but I'm gonna keep reading. Oh yeah. Racially showcased non-white people may also be tricked into doing something that is very non-just and or non-correct in order for racist men and racist women to have more so-called reasons to say that non-white people are too primitive, too stupid, or too silly to do the things that should be done. The refined white supremacists, greatly deceptive racist men and racist women, are very pleased when they see the confusion that they cause among the non-white people by making them think that some, mainly most or all of the non-white people have power that they do not have. It is important to know and understand that the white supremacists have the intention of causing envy, hostility, and or conflict between the non-white people that they have showcased, with many benefits and a large number of non-white people that have forced to have almost nothing of constructive value. It is important to know and understand that all non-white people everywhere are the direct and indirect victims of this racial showcasing confusion and all of other forms of deceptive and destructive white supremacist strategies. The strategy of racial showcasing confusion may or may not be used in any of the 9 areas of people activity. It is correct for all non-white people to expect the white supremacists to choose any number of non-white people to showcase for confusion in any area of activity. You know what they're doing? They're doing that with black women. They're doing that with black women. I just realized. They're doing that with black women. Racial showcasing and confusion. Even though black women are more successful now, they're going into school and stuff and, getting a lot more money, that doesn't change the fact that we're poor, we're still getting abused, we're, collectively. And when they show, like, when they do the racial showcasing of black women on the news or in the media, they're separating the black man from the black woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm pointing out what they're doing, if you're willing to celebrate black women but not black men, like, that's gonna cause a divide, because it's gonna look like the black women are up here and the black men are down there. But at the end of the day, the white supremacy controls all of it. Controls how we get arrested, all the. I'm not talking about that. Okay. Showcasing using may not be used by any non-white people is correct. For all non-white people to expect white supremacists to choose any number of non-white people to showcase for confusion in any area of activity, the choices made are based on how much confusion that the white supremacists intend to cause in a selected area of activity. What can you, as an individual non-white person, do about racial showcasing confusion? Answer: no matter how many millions of non-white people who are chosen by the white supremacists to receive fame or fortune for racial showcasing, do not be tempted to blame any non-white person for any non-just harm that is done to anyone, white or non-white, as the dominant cause. Always blame the white supremacists. If you're chosen to be racially showcased, even Chicago is racially showcased in a negative light, in terms of like, oh, all these deaths and murders. They've been racially showcased in Chicago since the 60s. If you're chosen to be racially showcased, always do your best to inform on all non-white people that you are being racially showcased. Enjoy the material comforts that you receive. Also do your best to inform as many non-white people as you can of the fact that you will not be allowed to help them very much. Do all that you can to use every one of your racial showcasing experiences as a learning experience. Always seek ways of using what you learn to be of constructive help to other non-white people in need. Do this every chance you get until forced to stop. Keep in mind that racial showcasing is no more than racial confusion through illusion, designed to do no more than support the practice of white supremacy, racism, in its more refined hidden form. At any time, expect the white supremacists to select or force you or some non-white person to closely associated, or some non-white person closely associated with you to be racially showcased. Under some circumstances, expect large but carefully calculated numbers of non-white people to be racially showcased in support of white supremacy in all areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, sex, religion, war, and counter-war. Do not allow fear, frustration, anger, disgust, jealousy, or confusion to tempt you into saying or doing harm to those non-white people who are being racially showcased. Avoid speech and or action against anyone being showcased, non-white person chosen for fame or success by the white supremacists. And if you are chosen, do your best to use the showcase position to counter the racist effects that the position was produced for. When making remarks about anyone who is said to be racially showcased, always limit what you say to the following: he said what he said, or she said what she said. He did what he did, or she did what she did. Do not say anything about him or her. Do whatever, speak and or act in opposition to the white supremacists who are producing, maintaining, expanding, or refining the practice of racial showcase and confusion. Avoid naming the names of specific persons. Speak in general terms about the effects, not persons. Racial sexual confusion. Racial sexual confusion is the white supremacist speaking and or acting to best help dominate and mistreat non-white people by adding to, subtracting from, multiplying, and or dividing the meaning of sex, non-sex, equal sex, lay sex, male, female, man, woman, gender, sexual deviation, etc. The white supremacists sometimes speak and act to scramble the meaning of sex. They sometimes describe sex that are not sex acts as being acts that are sex acts. At other times, they describe the same or similar acts as being sex acts or sexual suggestive acts. in manners that are directly or indirectly associated with sex. The white supremacists will say or do anything that they have reason to believe will result in confusion or self-destructive behavior between and among non-white people. The white supremacists promote dishonesty and confusion in all things sexual that directly or indirectly involve non-white people. They apparently have concluded that artificially and confusion are essential in their strategy of weakening and wrecking all that is constructive in the activities of non-white people. The white supremacists have so far succeeded in distorting, twisting, and generally corrupting the constructive value of everything associated with the sexuality of non-white people of the known universe. They have promoted the destruction of the will of the non-white people to think, speak, or act to produce the constructive essence and joy of quality sexuality. The white supremacist racists promote scrap sex. They promote counter-sex, anti-sex, sexual contempt, gender contempt, all of which is deliberately designed to give greater strength to the system of white supremacy. Through the promotion of racial sexual confusion, the white supremacists intend to prevent non-white males from ever being men, evolving into manhood. They intend for non-white males to remain boys as boys. Non-white males, while remaining subject to the system of white supremacy, are expected to function in a weak and acutely dependent childlike condition. The white supremacists also intend to prevent non-white females from ever functioning or being recognized as women. They intend for non-white females to always be required to think, speak, and act as infantile, emotionally immature girls while also remaining in a weak, acutely dependent, childlike condition. The white supremacists intend to continue to abuse and confuse non-white people in all areas of activity, especially anything that involves sexual considerations. The white supremacists, racist man and racist woman collectively speak and act to do whatever will best result in sexual confusion between, among, and against the non-white people of the known universe. The white supremacists engage in carefully controlled sexual intercourse and carefully planned acts of so-called homosex or lesbian sex with, among, against the non-white people of the known universe. They do anything they believe will result in the greatest and the most destructive chaos, conflict, and confusion between, among, and against the non-white people. They calculate in advance how much chaos, conflict, and confusion in matters of sex that will result in the most damaging to the non-white people, while adding greater power to the system of white supremacy. Sexual confusion among non-white people is one of the major ways that the white supremacists maintain, expand, or refine the practice of white supremacy. This also helps them to promote racial confusion through illusion. One of the major sexual conditions the white supremacists desire for many non-white people is for large numbers of non-white males to want to be females, and a large number of non-white females to want to be males. The entire gender confusion diffusion movement is a part of white supremacist opposition to non-white people evolving into universal man correctly related to and for universal woman. It is important to remember that all people, both white and non-white, should at all times do all that they can to evolve swiftly into universal man and universal woman. The term universal man and universal woman applies to any male or person who knows and understands truth, who use that knowledge and understanding in a manner that has produced justice and correctness in all places and all areas of activity, including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, counter-war. Question: what can you, as an individual non-white person, do about racial sexual confusion? Answer: due in the existence of white supremacy, racism, do not engage in or help promote any act of sexual intercourse and or sexual play between any white person with any non-white person. Reason: when white people engage in sexual intercourse, sexual play, or so-called homosex or lesbianism against non-white people during the existence of white supremacy, the greater result is always more chaos, conflict, and confusion among and between non-white people, and more power to the system of white supremacy. Two coughs. During the existence of the system of white supremacy, it is correct to speak and act to expose and counteract everything that helps cause harm to white people to non-white people through male-female non-white conflict, so-called homosexual or lesbian sexual activity, white/non-white people, non-white sexual intercourse, and or speech play. It is correct to codify all speech and action. During the existence of white supremacy, it is correct to not engage in or help promote any act of so-called homosexuality, lesbianism, countersex, gender contempt, gender obliteration, and or sexual confusion. It is correct to not do or say anything that cause someone to be confused about your being or wanting to be male or female. Always make clear what you want to be in regards to sex. Inform everyone of any acts of sexual intercourse, sexual play, so-called homosex or lesbianism that you have ever engaged in with a white supremacy during the existence of white supremacy. Inform everybody of any acts of sexual intercourse, sexual play, so-called homosex or lesbianism that you have engaged in with a white person during existence of white supremacy. Cool. Well, I think that's everything. Also, like, comment, subscribe. What we went over today was the six major racist strategies, or the strategies for confusion. Thank you guys for listening for this long. I usually don't go this long. I usually try to keep it under 20 minutes. But I appreciate you guys for listening to everything and continuing to stay on code. Yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. It's Black Vader, aka I am Michael. You guys have a good new year. Please be safe out here. Please be good. And God bless you guys. And just stay on code. It's just better to be inside because these people are acting crazy. You know what I mean? So you can't really get hurt unless someone pulls up to you. But if someone pulls up, you might as well be prepared. So just be prepared, guys. And God bless you guys all. Please be safe. Make sure your families are safe. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, God bless you guys. You guys have a good New Year, good life, period. That's it. Goodbye.